A single leaked file can destroy a billion-dollar soccer empire overnight. And right now, the biggest sports federations on Earth are turning on FIFA. The rules of the game are completely breaking down as furious nations prepare a massive global revolt. This is the shocking, true story behind the growing nightmare of the Argentina VAR scandal leaks today. Egypt's stolen dream and the VAR conspiracy. The match in Atlanta between Argentina and Egypt was supposed to be a normal soccer game, but it quickly turned into the absolute spark that set the entire sporting world on fire. Egypt was playing the match of their lives, holding onto a shocking 1-0 lead after a beautiful early header from Yasser Ibrahim. Then, in the 58th minute, the stadium went completely silent as Mostafa Zico broke past the defense and fired a beautiful shot into the back of the net to make it 2-0. Players were tearing their shirts off. Fans were crying in the stands. The underdog story of the century was actively unfolding right before our eyes. But suddenly, the referee named Francois Letexier got a buzz in his ear and slowly walked over to the sideline video screen. What the referee saw on that screen would make millions of football fans around the world lose their minds. The video room had rewound the play a full 17 seconds, focusing on a tiny, minor foot clip deep in Argentina's half, over 100 yards away from where the goal was actually scored. Francois Letexier stood at the monitor, looked at the slow-motion footage, and officially wiped the goal off the board. Pundits and experts were completely stunned. They argued that Argentina had 3 separate chances to win the ball back after that minor contact, meaning the play should have never been reviewed under the rules. It felt like the technology was being used to hunt for excuses rather than fix obvious mistakes, and the fair spirit of the sport was thrown straight into the trash can. Even though Egypt showed incredible heart and scored a legal goal just minutes later to make it 2-0 anyway, the damage to their mental state was already done. Argentina launched a massive, desperate comeback. Cristian Romero scored a big header to make it 2-1, followed by Lionel Messi tying the game with a beautiful half volley. Then came the absolute breaking point in stoppage time when Mohamed Salah was clearly tripped inside the penalty box by Nicolas Tagliafico. The referee did not even bother to look at the screen, waving play on, as Enzo Fernandez headed in the winning goal to make it 3-2 for Argentina. The Egyptian players collapsed onto the grass in complete disbelief, while their forward Mostafa Zico openly told the cameras that the tournament is completely fixed. The fury did not stop at the stadium gates because Egypt's coach Hassam Hassan publicly accused FIFA of wanting to keep Messi in the tournament at all costs. Hassan went straight to the press room and claimed that his entire country had been cheated by external forces that go far beyond the tactical details on the grass. Egypt immediately filed an official complaint demanding the refereeing crew be kicked out of the World Cup entirely, but the governing body quickly dismissed it. Soon after, fans dug up an old social media post from Zico where he joked about how much he loved winning things the unfair way, which caused a massive wave of drama online. But the biggest shock was still to come when researchers decided to look at the hard data to see if these bad calls were actually part of a much larger pattern. Hard numbers do not lie, and a major sports research group at Northeastern University decided to prove exactly how much help Argentina was getting on the pitch. Led by network scientist Brennan Klein, the researchers tracked every single video review of the entire tournament to see who was getting the breaks. The results were absolutely mind-blowing. Argentina had 4 video reviews go in their favor and 0 go against them. They were the only team left in the tournament with a perfect record from the video assistant referee. Argentina also committed 59 fouls during their run to the semifinals, but received only 3 yellow cards, meaning they received a card once every 19.7 fouls. Compare that to England, who got booked every 6.8 fouls under the exact same rules, and you can see why fans are starting to revolt. But if you think this on-field favoritism is bad, wait until you hear about the secret phone calls that went all the way to the president. Presidential intervention. A single red card almost knocked the United States out of their own tournament, but a highly controversial phone call from the White House changed everything in an instant. Folarin Balogun was the absolute star of the American team, scoring a massive goal to put them ahead against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. But later in the match, Balogun got tangled up and accidentally stepped on the ankle of Tarik Muharemovic. The referee on the field did not even blow his whistle, but the video assistant referee called him over, and Balogun was shown a direct red card. A direct red card means an automatic one-match ban. This would completely keep Balogun out of the crucial round of 16 clash against Belgium. Normally that would be the end of the story, But the United States president decided to pick up the phone and make some very powerful demands. Donald Trump made 3 direct phone calls to FIFA president Gianni Infantino, publicly admitting that he asked for a review of the card because he did not think it was a real foul. Only days after those phone calls, FIFA did something that had never been seen in the history of the sport. They reached into their official rulebook and used Article 27 to freeze Balogun's suspension for a whole year. This meant Balogun was suddenly free to play against Belgium, and the soccer world completely lost its mind over the blatant political favoritism. The anger from European football officials was unlike anything seen before, with some claiming that the decision crossed a massive red line. European leaders called the reversal completely incomprehensible and said it destroyed the integrity of the game. A major advocacy group named Fair Square immediately filed an official ethics complaint against Gianni Infantino with the International Olympic Committee, demanding a full investigation into his political neutrality. Even Balogun himself admitted that overturning a red card was always going to cause massive controversy. Belgium took their revenge directly on the grass, dominating the match to beat the United States 4-1 while mocking the whole situation with a Trump-style celebration. But while the politicians were busy manipulating the rules, the video referees were preparing to make some of the strangest decisions ever seen. Unexplained flips and ghost cables. The match officials seemed to lose complete control of the tournament as the weird decisions kept piling up on a weekly basis. During Argentina's quarterfinal match against Switzerland, a referee booked Leandro Paredes for a soft foul on Briel Embolo. But suddenly, the video assistant referee stepped in under a brand new rule designed to fix cards shown to the wrong player. They looked at the screen, took the yellow card away from Paredes, and turned around to give Swiss striker Embolo a second yellow card for diving. Switzerland was forced to finish the game with 10 men and lost 3-1 in extra time, leaving another locker room absolutely furious with how the technology was being handled. It seemed like the rules were constantly bending depending on who was playing, and the fans were starting to notice a very dark pattern. That same weekend, Spain was playing Belgium when a cleared ball dropped directly onto the arm of Rodri inside the penalty box. Replays showed clear contact, but the video referee completely ignored it, and Spain went on to win the game 2-1. Meanwhile, England was playing Norway when Jude Bellingham scored a goal that Norway players swore was illegal. The Norwegians screamed that the ball had hit the Skycam cable hanging high above the pitch, which completely changed its flight. FIFA used the sensor inside the ball to prove there was no contact, but fans quickly nicknamed it the Cable of God anyway. This extreme level of micro-officiating is starting to push supporters away from the sport because it feels like the human element is being completely erased. In another match, Croatia had a goal disallowed because the ball sensor detected that the ball had brushed off a tiny strand of Renato Vega's hair. When fans see a goal cancelled over a single hair, but then watch a massive handball get ignored, they stop believing in the integrity of the game. Technical explanations are no longer enough to satisfy the public, and the shadow of doubt is growing larger every day. But as bad as things look on the pitch, the secrets hiding in the financial boardrooms are about to blow the sport completely apart. Millions in the boardroom. The FBI has quietly launched a massive fraud investigation that could end up exposing the entire system as a financial mafia. Federal prosecutors are currently reviewing over $300 million in international sponsorship deals that were funneled through American banks by a Florida-based company named Tour Prod Enter LLC. Leaked documents show that while 30% went to commissions for theatrical producer Javier Ferroni, $57 million was sent to shell companies owned by bankrupt people, who suddenly disappeared after buying luxury yachts and private jets. At the same time, Argentine police raided the Federation headquarters over links to a corrupt financial firm called Surfinanzas, whose owner Ariel Vallejo was arrested for charging clubs illegal interest rates. Is this endless trail of dirty money the real reason referees are protecting certain teams on the pitch? Share your thoughts below and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next major deep dive into the dark side of sports and players.